Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lady Show English. I'm so glad you're here today. In this video, we're going to explore an interesting topic about brain training and how it might help us stay focused and sharp. We'll read through a simplified news story together, and along the way, I'll teach you useful vocabulary, phrases, and grammar that you can use in everyday English. So let's get started. Many people enjoy playing brain games like Wordle or doing crossword puzzles. These activities are fun and make us think. But here's an important question: do these games really make our brains healthier? Scientists have been studying this question for years, and the answer is not so simple. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, a famous medical doctor, explained something interesting on CNN. He said that crossword puzzles are good at making you better at crossword puzzles, but they might not improve your overall thinking ability. In other words, practicing one type of game makes you better at that specific game, but it might not help your brain in other ways. Let me pause here to teach you some useful vocabulary. The word cognitive means related to thinking, learning, and memory. When we say cognitive decline, we mean the natural process of our thinking abilities getting weaker as we age. Another key phrase here is overall cognition, which refers to all of our thinking abilities together, not just one skill. Now, let's look at the phrase all the rage. This is an idiom that means something is very popular right now. For example, Korean dramas are all the rage these days. It's a casual, conversational expression you can use when talking about trends. However, there's exciting news from a recent study. Scientists have discovered that not all brain games are the same. Some special types of games might actually help keep our brains healthy. The key is in how these games affect certain chemicals in our brain. The study focused on a brain chemical called acetylcholine. This is a neurotransmitter, which is a chemical messenger in the brain. Acetylcholine works like a light switch that helps our brain wake up, focus, and pay attention. When we have healthy levels of this chemical, our brain can work better and stay sharper. Let me explain the word neurotransmitter more simply. Think of your brain as a huge communication network. Neurotransmitters are like the postal workers that carry important messages between different parts of your brain. Without them, the different areas of your brain cannot communicate properly. The phrase focus on that we used here is very common in English. It means to concentrate on or pay special attention to something. For example, in this class, we will focus on speaking skills. You can also say concentrate on or pay attention to with similar meanings. Now that we've explored some key English phrases like focus on, let's dive deeper into a fascinating study that actually examined how focusing on certain activities can benefit the brain, especially in older adults. This brings us to the main article. Researchers in Canada conducted an interesting experiment. They divided 92 older adults into two groups. Each group played brain games for 30 minutes every day for 10 weeks. That's a pretty long time commitment. One group played casual games like solitaire at their own pace. The other group played special speed-based games that became harder and harder as the players improved. These games required quick thinking and fast reactions. The players had to identify images quickly or remember where things appeared on the screen. Let me teach you the phrase at their own pace. This means doing something at a speed that is comfortable for you, without rushing or pressure. For example, you can complete this course at your own pace. It's a very useful expression when talking about learning or working. Another important word here is intervention. In medical and scientific studies, an intervention is a special treatment or action that researchers want to test. The intervention group receives the special treatment, while the control group does not. After 10 weeks, the researchers used brain scans to measure acetylcholine levels. The results were fascinating. The group that played the speed-based games showed a 2.3% increase in acetylcholine activity. This improvement happened in important brain areas responsible for memory and decision-making. Why is this significant? Well, as we get older, our brain naturally loses about 2.5% of acetylcholine activity every 10 years. The special brain training almost completely reversed this natural decline. Meanwhile, the group playing casual games showed no significant improvement. The word significant appears twice in this section, and it's a very important academic word. In everyday English, significant means important or meaningful. In scientific studies, it also means that the results are large enough to be real and not just random chance. For example, there was a significant improvement in test scores after the new teaching method. Let's also look at the phrase responsible for. This means being the cause of something or having the duty to do something. For example, the heart is responsible for pumping blood throughout the body. In our article, certain brain areas are responsible for memory and decision-making. With an understanding of how specific brain areas contribute to vital functions like memory and decision-making, let's now consider the broader implications of the study's findings for maintaining overall brain health. Dr. Richard Isaacson, a brain health expert, reminds us that there is no magic solution to prevent dementia or memory problems. Instead, we need a combination of healthy habits. Eating well, sleeping enough, and exercising regularly are all proven ways to keep our brains healthy. Brain training games can be one helpful tool among many others. Dr. Isaacson also suggests learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, or taking up new hobbies like dancing or photography. All of these activities help build what scientists call cognitive reserve. This is your brain's ability to stay strong and function well even as it ages or faces challenges. The phrase take up is a phrasal verb that means to start a new hobby or activity. For example, I want to take up yoga next month, or she took up painting during the pandemic. It's different from pick up, which can mean to learn something gradually or to collect something. Another useful expression here is a combination of. This means mixing several different things together. For example, success requires a combination of hard work, luck, and good timing. In our context, protecting your brain requires a combination of different healthy habits. Before we finish, let me summarize some key language points from today's lesson. We learned that when we use may or might in a sentence, we're expressing possibility. The title says brain training may improve focus, which means it's possible but not certain. This is more cautious than saying will improve, which would mean it definitely happens. We also saw several medical and scientific terms: cognitive, neurotransmitter, intervention, and significant. These words are useful not just for health topics, but for many academic and professional contexts. For everyday conversation, remember these phrases: all the rage for talking about popular trends, focus on for concentration, at your own pace for comfortable speed, responsible for, to explain causes or duties, and take up for starting new activities. Since we're talking about brain health, let me share some related vocabulary that you might find useful. When we talk about keeping our minds active, we can use phrases like stay sharp, keep your mind active, or mental fitness. These all refer to maintaining good cognitive function. If someone has trouble remembering things, we might say they have memory lapses or forgetfulness. More serious memory problems are called cognitive impairment or dementia. For activities that help the brain, we can use words like mentally stimulating, intellectually challenging, or cognitively engaging. For example, reading complex books is mentally stimulating. Some useful collocations with the word brain include brain power, brain function, brain activity, brain cells, and brain health. Collocations are words that naturally go together in English, and learning them helps you sound more natural. That brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope you learned something interesting about brain training and also picked up some useful English vocabulary and phrases. Remember, Ladies Show English is here to help you improve your English through real news stories about health, food, travel, business, technology, and the environment. We bring you current events and practical English lessons that connect to your everyday life. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and keep learning.